in order. Crazy.
Every one of you.
Yeah, they're all just.
I can't remember what we finished out on today. Was it? We're talking about dreams or something like that.
I don't even remember. Yeah, like if dreams were maybe like just parts of
Oh, like time slips and stuff. Yeah, that's what it was.
Time slips.
Well, if you haven't noticed, we're continuing our simulation theory episode. Yesterday we had to take the day off just because we're both exhausted.
Brain dead.
Yeah. Like, both of us barely stay awake at work, so he's like, we'll just skip it, take a nap at break time, and start back over tomorrow. So sorry if you expected one yesterday, but this one will be uploaded. Well, it's not live. Never mind.
Yeah.
But hopefully, if we don't finish it today, we'll make sure to finish it tomorrow.
And this could be an ongoing.
It's like its own little series because it's a broad, very broad subject.
There's so many different just aspects of it. I mean, there's Gordon Moore's law is of like integrated circuits. Back in 1976, they like doubled every 2 years, and like if we were in a simulation, why would they restrain our advancement, if we were in a simulation?
Yeah. It's like putting limits on technology. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And this kind of goes back to aliens as well, but you've kind of delved into like the technology part and said like there was some dude that actually made or showed the prototype how to make a flying saucer, pretty much. How it speeds around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like Lazard talked about that a lot. How alien technology and how it actually worked, how it hovered and everything.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head how.
It's weird too, and just kind of straying away from it. But if you think about it, it's like how did we go from making like the first nuclear bombs to having nuclear submarines just not too long after that?
Yeah.
That's extreme progression of using that particular energy.
Yeah. It's like you was talking about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
They basically tried to make that as much of like it was real life, like you're experiencing it in real life,
Like you're that person.
Yeah,
while you're playing it.
It's like in 1899 America. They said it took 7 years to develop that game. Had 100 hours a week.
Yeah,
staff's working on it.
Those companies that make games, they put in a lot of hours. Shit, we need to go find a job there.
Yeah, really.
Even if we're just janitors and just picking up all our trash for 100 hours, I'll work there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Hell, that game has 1,200 human characters, 500,000 lines of dialogue, 300,000 animations, hundreds of millions of dollars in budget, all to make a player feel like it's, hey, this is real,
Yeah.
And it's basically like, I mean, you know a lot more about the game, but like you was saying, it's just like little bitty things. There's just like little bitty details that makes you feel like you're in the game,
Yeah.
and the script for the character that you play has over 2,000 pages long, and even the non-playable characters have 80 pages of scripts. It's like it's kind of like going into AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Like even the snow is what I've been told. I haven't actually played the game, but you said you played the game a lot. Like even the snow, like back in the day when they first started putting snow on video games.
Yeah.
It's just like a single pixel, and it's just like
yeah.
they run a loop on it.
Yeah.
Now like the game can decide when the snow falls, and the snow will actually land on the ground. From what I've been told, snow will land on the ground, and it'll stay that way until another character comes and walks through it. Like you played the game, but
and like even when you're walking, like the powder will kick up.
Wow. I mean, coming from just one little pixel coming down. Oh, it's snowing.
Playing Pong back in the day.
Yeah. To just little bitty details like that.
And not only that, like you said, there's like 1,200 characters, but there's also like, I don't know if that's animals included, but you can hunt and fish on that game.
That's insane that you have those options.
Yeah, like you can get to a certain point. You got to finish like the first part, but you get to a certain point, and if all you want to do is just stop playing the actual storyline and just wanted to hunt and fish, you could just hunt and fish the whole time.
Wow. Man, Trey would love that.
Yeah. It's really not all that bad either as far as like cursing or compared to normal Rockstar game. I mean, it's very graphic in detail.
Yeah, I mean the boys love Grand Theft Auto too, and you know how they talk on there.
Yeah.
I know that. It's one of my guilty pleasures playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like you're like in a real game, even when I was just playing it on PSP. PSP, I felt like I was really in the game. Where else can you just go shoot a cop in the head and then go run behind a trash can and hide for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
And then come back out like nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
Try that in New York.
Well, it work like that. Just go get a bunch of money and hide in the bushes for 30 seconds and you're fine.
Then it just rolls over to your bank account.
Yeah.
Don't even have to go to a bank. That's awesome. Man, I would so be using cheat codes.
So what happens when you get older? We'll just put you in a Grand Theft Auto game.
That would be awesome.
You can live forever and just every time you get killed, just wake up at the hospital.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
I'll just run over and steal an ambulance because I'm too lazy to walk to my next car. Just go hop on a motorcycle and run down to my favorite place and jump in my stash sports car. Or I'll just sit there and turn it into a tank. Hit the cheat codes, turn it into the tank.
Makes you wonder how advanced that game's going to be, like Grand Theft Auto, the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, this stuff is just getting so far.
Like, it's going to come to a certain point where you're going to put either some contacts in, like Black Mirror or something, or just have this little button on the side of your head that connects to your brain.
Yeah, I've been watching episodes of that again.
Really?
Yeah, since I got done with Supernatural. God, I love that show. Sam and Dean.
Once you get hooked on that show, it's hard to
stop
watching.
Yeah, if I'd watched that show way back in the day, my sons Kobe and Wyatt would be called Dean and Sam. Yeah.
But you came up with a pretty good idea. Rather than just rushing the next few, like trying to cram all this shit into 1 to 3 episodes. Rather just keep it like an ongoing kind of series.
Yeah, I mean, just this subject alone could be
Yeah,
just like
we're not trying to milk anything.
Yeah, mini series or whatever.
You guys seen how easily we get off track.
Yeah, it's not too hard to distract me.
If we put all this together, like if we literally had 8 hours to do a podcast, just me and you sitting in here, we could probably talk for 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
Just on this shit.
Yeah.
Because we'd go off on a tangent for 30 minutes straight, and then have to come back to what we were talking about. But it is crazy, like just and how you said like the characters in that game have like 1,200 different just characters and whatever the hell, simulations and stuff. I mean, that's just like a normal Xbox or PS4.
Yeah.
Like almost every household, I would say, with kids has one of those.
Oh yeah.
Even some without the kids. Is it really that hard to think about, like a supercomputer that maybe an alien race had made wouldn't be able to program what we're living in right now?
It's not.
If you think about scales,
it's not too far fetched. I mean, how everything's
if you think about
evolved. I mean,
according to science, I'm not trying to offend anybody's like religious beliefs. Oh, you got a clock on you for your phone?
Oh yeah, somewhere.
Forgot I only have. Oh, okay, I think it says 12:17.
12:17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think about it. According to science, the human race has only been around that we know of for like 10,000 to 50,000 years.
Yeah.
But if the galaxy, or not the galaxy, but the universe truly is 15 billion years old, what if a life had developed like intelligent life? Not talking about like just if evolution is true, like their version of monkeys, reptiles, whatever, developed 2 billion years ago. Say they got to humans around 1.5 billion, not really humans, but their version of humans would be aliens, I guess. 1.5 billion years ago. That civilization is 1.5 billion years older, pretty much, than the human race.
Right.
Just like if the human, like just think if we don't ever destroy ourselves, and somehow we just keep evolving to be smarter, and we don't destroy the earth.
Trump.
like if just think 100,000 years from now, where will humans be even in that time span? Which is a long ass time. None of us are gonna live that long. But just think that civilization versus today, we would look like if you brought someone from the year 100,000 or whatever the hell, just say 100,000. I can't do math right now. And just put him or her or whatever it was in a room, they would think they're surrounded by monkeys.
Right.
It's like, what's that? You got to say, that's a cell phone.
They'd be like, oh yeah? That's a cell phone?
Yeah.
But what does it do? Well, it does anything in the world we want it to. We can call people, text people, and, and they'll be like, oh yeah, like this, and they'll take out their lens that's in their eye and just put it back in. They'll just zap into another reality because that's all it takes. All they have to do is think it.
Yeah. It's weird, like, even just think humans 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 20 years ago.
Just to see just our Apple phones.
Yeah, if you drop someone from 2019 into 1999, dressed the same way, and had all the technology that they have now, put them in 1999, you'd see that would look like a space person.
Yeah.
Not that we've changed facially, styles have changed and stuff like that, but I mean, like, we relatively look the same. But as far as technology, and
Look
stuff
like
like that.
spacemen or
It's like
something.
they would not be able to grasp what an iPhone is, especially if there's some way you could show them how fast their iPhone was compared to their dial-up internet back then.
Yeah, because I mean, like post grunge.
Yeah, but I mean, even me and you right now just think, you know, I hope we live longer than 30 years, but just say 30 years from now, we probably won't be able to recognize what our great grandchildren or grandchildren are even using for entertainment.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you check out kids nowadays. Like back when I was a kid, to kids nowadays they don't even go in the woods or nothing because they can't get their face off their cell phones
Yeah.
or their PlayStations or
It's like,
Xboxes.
why go out there when I can watch someone on YouTube do the same thing?
Yeah, somebody on YouTube can show us what we're missing in the woods, and we don't have to go in the woods because somebody else is already doing it and recording themselves doing it. We can just look it up on YouTube.
In your opinion, do you feel like personally there's going to be like a stop in technology, or is this going to keep progressing? That it's going to, is this going to blow our minds that it gets to a certain point and like we have like another increase in industry, or is it just going to be like we gradually become more?
Yeah, goes back to like integrated circuits, and they just keep doubling every year, every 2 years. It's like just like a SIM card, and like SIM card, and then there's like the nano SIM. I guess it goes into Apple.
Yeah.
Apple phones, and they just keep getting smaller and smaller, and like I can't remember who it was. Somebody got a new iPhone, but they couldn't put their old SIM card in it because they had to have a nano SIM to fit in it. But all they had to do is take some scissors to it and just cut out that little part to make it fit in the new one, and it worked just fine. It's like, why did you have to have the nano SIM to fit in there? Like, is somebody trying to slow us down? And it's like we've talked about before, how the Apple phones, how they slow down so much towards the end of their at the end of the year, just so you have to upgrade or whatever. Why is that?
Yeah, and they said that they don't see why there's people that expect their phone to last more than a year. I was like, that's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard any kind of corporation say.
Yeah, and it kind of leans more towards, is it money?
Yeah.
Just
like, is this product still the best one, or is it just the best one because everybody wants it?
Right. Like everybody has to have
the new iPhone.
The new iPhone, the new X or whatever.
Yeah. But I think you're right. It does seem like things have advanced so much in the last 10 years that either it's going to slow down to where some new things are introduced each year, or we're going to kind of gradually get used to it, or they're just going to come out with all this new shit all at once, and we're just going to be completely mind-blown.
Like we just hit a wall, and just we're in zombie land.
Yeah.
Because all our brains exploded.
And
eventually had to hit the 2012 reset again or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of like consciousness or something. That's kind of another topic, consciousness. It's like, what is consciousness, and is it AI? Or it kind of rolls over into the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
And is that like disremembering almost? Like Fiona Broom, that was her name, Fiona Broom.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of came out with kind of brought out the Mandela effect, because a lot of people thought he was dead, like back in the 80s. I think he actually did die in 2013. It's like, it's kind of like, do you remember the song We Are the Champions?
Yeah.
So this is like one of the examples, like, we are the champions. What's it say after that?
My friend.
Okay, some people remember it like that. Some people remember it, we are the champions of the world. You know, people thinks it says that, but if you go back and listen to it, it doesn't say that. But if you watch like crap, what is that?
Like the end of that song too is different. Is that what? Like
Yeah,
the end of it.
yeah.
Because now it's just like dun dun, and that's it.
And it doesn't say of the world.
But I could have swore I've heard recently,
Mm-hmm.
listening, that it does say of the world. Or maybe that's just a different line. I'm getting confused or what. I don't know, but
It's like that cartoon Stuart Little or whatever.
Yeah.
He says it. He goes, we are the champions of the world. And he'll say it real big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way he remembers it. It's like Bernstein, that Bernstein Bears book.
Yeah.
Is it Bernstein Bears? Or is it Berenstain Bears?
I think I remember Berenstain.
That's actually right. It's Bernstein Bears, as in B-E.
Of course, those books have been around for.
Yeah.
But like if I don't know if you read them when you was a kid, but you might remember it as Bernstein.
Yeah, that's how I actually remember it as Bernstein. It's actually Bernstein. Is it Sex in the City?
Yeah, I think so.
It's actually Sex and the City.
See, that don't even sound right.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like Sex in the City, although I never watched it because it was on like in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing about that show all the time, and that's what it's, But.
And there's, like the witch in Snow White, what she says to the mirror.
It's like mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah, that's how people remember it, but it's actually magic mirror on the wall. This shit just blows my mind. Like Fruit Loops, how do you spell it?
It's spelled just like fruit, isn't it?
You would think, but it's actually F-R-O-O-T. L-O-O-P-S. Shit like that, because it's like disremembering, and it just blows my mind.
And maybe tomorrow, since we're out of time, we can kind of tie in 2012, how that relates to the Mandela effect. And this conversation is probably going to continue on for a few more days.
Probably.
A few more podcasts.
And we might just jump into like skinwalkers or ghosts.
Yeah,
or
just
something
give a little mind a break or something. But anyways, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow and continue this mindfuck episode.
Yeah. Pops out.